Aftab, thank you so much for being here in my video. Welcome.
Thanks for having me here,
Welcome to
Alex.
the
Nice to
channel.
meet you.
You and I, we met through Facebook. I
Yes.
announced on the group of expats in Malta on Facebook that I'm looking for someone with a story. And I'm quite happy that somebody that is coming from India decided to come out on my YouTube channel and give a story. I don't know your full story for these last 5 years that you've been living in Malta, but I'm so excited for you to tell me and also to the audience as well. Briefly, you told me that you've been through hell at the beginning and now situation is better. Welcome.
Thanks for having me on your show. And so, just to start with, I am basically a marine engineer. My background is of a marine engineer. I used to work on ships before,
Okay.
and I was working like in my last parts in India. I was working as a marine surveyor, basically ship
Okay.
surveyor, and I was posted in Bombay. Suddenly, through LinkedIn, a guy approached me, a company approached me, and they got me, like, they asked me if I can work as a marine surveyor, to which I agreed. And then the paperwork started, this was 2018. There were some conditions put forth by myself that I wanted my family to join me
Okay.
at the soonest possible, to which he agreed that he will help me out in getting my family here. So to which he did as well, like he did all the paperwork. So I came here in November 2018, roughly November 2018. I got my family here as well within 5 months. So my
Okay.
wife and my elder kid were here as well. I will not say that I was not having a good salary. I was having above par salary at that time. But the thing was, I was kind of enslaved. I did not expect that I will come here and will be working around 250 to 60 hours a month,
Wow.
which was taking a lot of my social life was almost finished.
Okay.
So I was trying to get out of that situation. I was trying to look for other jobs, but the thing was, I was here with my family, and I had one kid on me, and they were dependent on me. So as per ID Malta, I needed at that time a salary bracket of 25,000 gross,
Yeah.
and it's not easy to change a job suddenly and to get that salary. So I was looking, and then in June 2020, after nearly 2 years, it like the office atmosphere had become toxic. I was working on public holidays. I'll be honest. I did not even attend a one school function of my kid.
Oh.
I never had time because so it was like a little troublesome. That was a time. That was a phase I still remember, and I feel I should erase it from my memory. But
Oh.
it was there. But that made me strong enough. At least I could face anything right now.
I have a question before you continue.
Yes.
You kind of like answered so many questions that I had at the
Yes.
very
Yes.
beginning, but I'm gonna get back at the start when you mentioned that you kind of felt enslaved because you had to work over 250 hours a month. This was your choice to start with, but if you had to work them, this is kind of you were forced
So
to work all these long hours.
just to because I come from a background of shipping. I worked with multinational crews, so I had been with Europeans. I worked with Britishers as well, and so I never knew that in a country which was associated with EU, there could be like the employers will kind of will enslave you. By enslave, I would mean that you cannot plan anything of your own.
Okay.
Like even if I had to get my Sunday off, I needed to inform my employer 2 to 3 weeks back
In
that
advance. Wow.
this Sunday after 2 weeks or this Saturday I'm not available. So, and on that also it was like, if I'm in Malta, I might be called, even if I have asked for an off 2 weeks before that date. But so I had worked with the multinational crew, and I did not know that like in EU you can be exploited like this, abused like this. So I would say abused. I was not getting abused physically,
Yeah.
but it was kind of a mental pressure, because for me, like, if I'm doing something, I do with all my might,
Heart,
with my
passion.
heart, passion,
Yeah.
and I want to finish it. It's not like that. Apart from doing the work, there were reportings which were taking time at my home as well. I was working from home, so I'm talking about 270 to 80 hours that were only at the job. Then I was
Wow.
working at home, and the irony was, At the last day of the month, I was made to sign only 173 hours, and I come. I'm an engineer. I have a degree. I have a like at that time I was having a 12-year experience. So just think about people who are not capable, like not educated enough, who are coming as a non-skilled.
Workers.
How will they be treated by such employers? So the other side of the story, if I say, like, I made a lot of friends. I got to know the local culture very early. Like I met a lot of local fishermen, and who did not even speak a single word of English, and I had to do my survey with them. So I learned the words that I of my trade, like the boshla, compass. The compass, magnetic compass, is called boshla in Maltese. The binoculars are called trombas. So just to get my work done, I learned the local culture. I ate a lot of pastidji at that time. So yes, it was again. But
Oh
my
my God.
wife, every day I was coming back, my wife was just like, I think we took a wrong decision, and it was her who actually made me take this plunge, like, to come to Europe. So
How long have you worked for this company? How long was this enslaved
I
period?
would say, I would tell you the exact months. It was 2 years, 3 months.
2 years and three
3 months.
What kept you going forward? What was that
Till June.
spark?
So because if I had I been here alone, I would have changed my job the next
Straight
month.
away.
Because see, I knew my capabilities, that within 5-6 months I'll find a job. But the thing with us TCNs, the problem at that time, I got to know the 10 days rule, that
Yeah.
you get only 10, not business days, calendar days, to find a different new job. So if I were alone, I could have just taken a waiting job. But in June 2020, I'll tell you, there was a big, like, it was kind of, I had enough by that time.
Yeah.
It was COVID was going on. In COVID, I was working again the same hours. Huh? I don't know why. And the thing was, there was some fishy business going on in the company. There were no invoices. So I won't go down that lane. So in June, I said, okay, fine. I think I cannot work here anymore. I gave my resignation. But that guy did not accept it. He talked me in that we'll give you more flexibility now. You stay here, and then the summer season is the main season in Malta, basically, for all the businesses. So as soon as the summer season ended, he started finding another person. He got another person. So in January 2021, he told me that I accept your resignation from June 2020, and I was shocked. So I just told him, okay, fine, I don't want anything else, but just give me a month's notice. So I'll have 40 days in my hands, a month's notice, and then 10 days, and I know I can find something out. And luckily, in those 40 days, I found 3 jobs. I even found a job with Transport Malta in the shipping department. It was a very good job, but I joined another company. Later on, I joined that company, and then after working for 1.5 years with that company, I left that again. Now this is my third company, and I think this will be my last company in Malta. I'm very well. So it's like, you need to have patience. If you have the background on your back, that you know your job, there are many possibilities in Malta to get that job. But the thing is, if you're coming from, like, now when I'm seeing Facebook and all these things, there are so many agents. They're just trying to, like, suck blood of, like, the people
Yeah.
who are naive, who are sitting there in India, who do not have a clue what's going on in Malta. So it's a step you should take after thinking. If a person like me can get here and get abused for 2.5 years, a person who doesn't have a background, who's non-skilled, I don't know what conditions they'll be living here in. So, but if you're taking that plunge, you need to think, and you need to introspect where you are going, think about the contract that you're going to sign, and be vigilant.
You answered like 10 of the questions that I already had for you. And I'm trying to now get back to
The questions.
this. I want to summarize everything that you have mentioned until now. You mentioned the TCN. For those people that they don't know, TCN is a third country national, which
Yes.
means that you are not coming from the European Union, and that means that you need to have a legal documentation to stay, reside, and work in Malta. As you mentioned yourself, about the people who are non-skilled, people that they do not have a good level of English, they are not so well educated. These are the ones that they might end up in a trap and being exploited here on the island. To start with, moving to Malta, they are paying obnoxious amount of money to agents,
yes, yes.
whether it's in Dubai, whether it's in India, whether it's anywhere else around the world. But once they are here, they do try to find their luck. I'm noticing that a lot of people from India in the past 2 years, they're moving from India or from Dubai to Malta. They stay for less than a year or up to a year, and then they move on. They go to Italy, they go to Portugal, and this has been for the past 2 years. What is still keeping you here?
Mela.
You have a better job.
Yes.
Your family is here.
Yeah. So I'll start with Mela. So Mela, the thing, so till 2020 I stayed here because of my kid and my wife. I got a few opportunities in UK, in Canada as well. My wife was willing to go, but the thing is, I do not like the weather there. I've been there with my when I was working with the ships. In Malta is the only place in Europe where you can play cricket all year around, and cricket
Even in winter.
yes, and cricket for Indians is like a religion. So that was the only thing that kept me going. I would say, so, and plus my kid, and my kid also had a speech problem. He was having a speech delay, so he still doesn't know my local language. I speak Hindi and Urdu in my native place. He still doesn't know how to. He can understand, but he cannot speak because he started speaking when he was 4 years old.
How old is he now?
He's 6.5 now. So I did not want, I was looking for only English speaking nations. Till 2020 I had decided that now if I'll move to a country which has English background in it, which the local language should be English. Otherwise I'll stay in Malta, because I will not want my kid to move to a place again where the language again is a little alien to him, like he's never heard of.
You know, I wanted to ask you something before my thought flies out of my head.
Yes.
You mentioned your kid going to school here.
Yes.
Malta is extremely international.
Yes.
You have people from everywhere. But I never had the chance, and it's on my plan to do a video with a family in Malta, but maybe I can use you now for a second.
Yes.
I want you to tell me, I mentioned we are international environment in Malta, but for your child settling down into a new place where predominantly there will be Maltese, I believe, in the classmates, how was the acceptance? Let's start from the school, then to the kids overall, if you can briefly tell me.
There are 3 types of schools in Malta. One is public school, then you have church school, and then you have the private ones. The most expensive ones are the private ones. Church schools are officially free as well, but you need to pay you have to do some charity or something. And the public schools are free. They're free of cost, not free because you pay the social security. My kids started going to the school in north. First school was in north, it's called Maria Regina. It's a public school. There mostly the localite. So you can send your kids to a public school only of that locality you're staying in.
Is it required for your son to learn the Maltese language as well? Is it mandatory?
So it is, as far as I know, if he wants to continue studying in Malta, and if he wants to to go for his higher studies in Malta, and if I don't want to pay for him, then he needs to have a Maltese level O. But if you are having a PR and you are having a level O in Maltese, your courses will be free.
Okay.
So
I have another question now. When you mentioned this, I'm gonna move on to the part of you living with your family here.
Yes.
You're 3. Yourself, your wife.
I have I just had a kid, a small little baby in July last year.
Wow.
Yes.
Congratulations.
Thank you. He's 11 months old.
It's another boy.
Yes, another
2
boy.
boys.
Yes, 2 boys.
Okay,
now.
so it's your wife, 2 boys, and
2
yourself.
boys now. Yes.
Can you tell me roughly how much do you spend on groceries for the family, for the house monthly? Do you have an idea or an estimate?
I'd say, see, it depends on person to person. If I would want to save, I can save. But for me, I'm a little, I do not,
You like to eat.
I like to eat outside. I've grown, I think, 10 kilos. So, well, but that is not the thing. But I like to spend a lot. So, like, a lot means, like, I do not, I'm basically a person who lives in present. I have future plans. I save for it. But for
You want
me,
to
it's
enjoy
around 350 to 400 per week. So it comes to around, if I include the
1,200.
rent and everything, it is around 2,500 a month.
That
You need to,
spend.
for 4 people, yes.
Yeah.
Because the little one who's 11 months old, he's having the same expenditures because as an adult, because he has the
Nappies,
diapers,
yeah.
then you have the baby food and also.
I like that you gave me, like in this video, you've been talking a lot.
I talk a lot.
3 questions.
I'll talk a lot. My wife was saying, let him ask something before you answer anything, all right?
So you answered me 5 questions. I was like, that was a question. That was another question. That was another question. But it's good. It's good. I mean, I like the conversation, and I like that with this video we can help other people as well. My first question before I ask you the final question is, you mentioned you live in Asha.
Yes.
We are kind of neighbors. I'm in Zurich.
Yes,
the
yes.
airport is in between us.
Yes.
Why Asha? Why did you move there?
So Asha, one of the, so when I was moving, I was living in Meliha before. I stayed there for nearly 3 years. Then the second job that I took, it was in Marsa. So every day, so with my first job, I had to go to Dingley and Rabat a lot.
Okay.
But with my second job, I was staying in Meliha, like just to travel every day 1.5 hours up and down, especially in summers. So I said I'll move someplace to south, and I wanted near to this Marsa Sports Club. I have a very good landlord. I read the posts every day. There are bad landlords, but up till now, in the last 2 years, he's been a very gentleman. Yes,
I'm
yes.
glad.
So that's why I chose Asha. So it was.
You as a native Indian, I haven't been in your country yet. It's been in my list since 2018. The year when you came to Malta, I was supposed to go. I didn't have the chance yet, but I would love to. I would love to visit India, but we are talking about Malta and people coming to Malta. So for the fellow Indians, what kind of advice you would give them for the newcomers, those that are planning to come to Malta?
Mela, if you're coming through the agents, first of all,
Forget about Malta.
if you're coming through the agents, take every step very carefully. I did not come through an agent, so I'm very lucky on that part. But if you're coming through an agent, you can read, you can join Expats Malta, get to know watch Alex's videos. You can get to know everything, that the price of a visa does not go beyond 500 euros. Then you need some more medical things, and then flight tickets. Maximum it will go up till 2,000 euros. So anything you're paying above that is the agent's money. So even if the agent is good, he's charging 1,000 euros, I would suggest you go for it. But if he's asking for an amount 10,000 euros, 11,000 euros, and you're taking a loan against it, and then you're coming for a job which is paying you 1,000 euros a month, I would suggest not to take that step, because here you will come, you'll stay in an apartment. Right now, I think there are apartments in one room, there are 4 or 5 people staying.
And there are in one room 8 to 10 people as well.
It will become a mess. Then you'll not be able to save anything. You won't be able to, if you've taken a loan back home, you would not be able to repay it in time. So yes, tread carefully. If you are coming in a non-skilled category, tread carefully, take every step. Like let it, like even if you're coming late, the procedure takes 2 years, but let it go, take 2 years, but do not hurry into that job that you have to be in Malta next with the snap of the finger. And for the skilled people, read the documents, read the contract. If it is a definite contract, always consult someone who's already in Malta. Put it in Expats Malta group. There are very good people there who will help you out. I never had that opportunity, but now there is a big group there. So for the skilled people, read about the contracts. And yes, Malta is a good place, but then when you come here, try to assimilate with the locals. Do not roam around in the streets with a beer and in the hand, which I feel I've seen a few of my fellow countrymen, which I don't like personally. So how would the local Maltese be feeling about that? So try to treat the country as your own, and then you'll be okay with it.
When I post this video, I'm gonna change my YouTube channel from Alex in Malta to Aftab in Malta.
No, it's
First of all, I would like to thank you for taking the time. I'm happy that we met. This is the first time that I met you, and I really like you as a human being, as a person.
Thank you.
Your character, even though you speak more than me, and I thought that
Perfect.
I speak
I speak a lot,
those
Alex.
toys that you put on the car. Yeah.
My wife
I'm
needs to
that.
watch this.
Your wife is going to watch it, but she has you every day at home. So
Bella. Even my friends, so they are fed up of me.
they will say, they will like, oh my God, there he is. He started. No, thank you. Thank you so much for taking the time. Thank you so much for sharing your points of view. Thank you so much for sharing your story. I always wanted to find someone that had kind of like a bad story here in Malta. And I'm glad that you shared your side, and you also give the second part of your story in this nearly 5 years in Malta, which is the positive side.
Yes.
So you started, let's say, from hell, and now you're into paradise. Let's put paradise in that way. I'm happy that we met. I wish you best of luck in the foreseeing future. You mentioned that you're living in the past and you're enjoying, but you are thinking about the future as well. I hope maybe in about 5 years from now I can meet you again for another video if Alex is still existing on YouTube.
No. Wish you loads of luck, man. Your channel will rock.
Second, thank you. Thank you so much. Guys, I hope you enjoyed this show that we had today with Aftab. Aftab, you gave great information. I'm pretty sure that you got some information that you might been thinking before you make a decision to move to Malta. Aftab gave you a very good advice for those of you that are planning to come on the island. Non-skilled people, please be careful. Try to educate yourself more. Try to get more of a research of what's happening here on the island and what your opportunities are. The skilled people who are coming to Malta, Aftab also gave you a nice overview of the island. It is quite a nice place. This type of noise is bugging me. It's deconcentrating me a lot,
so bad.
and I'm about to finish the video. Anyway, I hope you enjoyed this video, guys. If you did, make sure to like it down below, and don't forget to subscribe to my YouTube channel. Aftab, one more time again, thank you so much for being here.
Nice to meet you again. Thanks
guys,
for having me.
Thank you. Until I see you in my next one. Bye.
Ciao, guys.